With the election just one weekend away now, we're doing a riding profile of Ottawa-Centre, home to the parliamentary precinct and our Bell Media studios. The candidates are incumbent Yasser Naqvi for the Liberals, Paul Desornes for the Conservatives, and Joel Harden for the NDP, who is well known for his track record in provincial politics. Now, Harden joined us yesterday, bringing up issues like housing and vacant federal buildings and the addiction crisis playing out on downtown streets. Joining us in studio right now at a similar time today is Liberal candidate Yasser Naqvi. Welcome back to CTV Morning Live. It's been a little while.
Thank you, Stefan. Always a pleasure.
How's it going along the campaign trail?
It's going really well. I'm having really thoughtful conversations with our constituents. People are really concerned about Donald Trump's assault on Canada. How do we rebuild our economy so that we are less reliant on the U.S. and make sure that Canada remains an independent country?
Well, I don't have to remind you or tell you how important Ottawa-Centre is, not only to the people who live and work here, but really the entire city and region, just because of how much happens down here, whether it be festivals or the fact that when relatives are in town, we bring them to visit Parliament Hill or the entertainment districts. But unfortunately, we're hearing that tourism seems to be slacking a little bit, and people don't feel safe coming back to the downtown core. So what are your plans to revitalize it if you're given another chance in that riding?
Well, that's why I've been so focused on revitalization of our downtown core. It has taken a significant beating during the pandemic and the convoy occupation. And as a result, I initiated a task force made up of our business leaders, small businesses, community, to really come up with ideas as to how we do it. And we have started the work, but more needs to happen. So what I want to do, and I put forward a plan in that regards, is one, we need to convert empty office buildings into homes. I'm working on Jackson Building to create homes for Indigenous people in our community, and that work is ongoing. I want to complete that work. We need to bring Ottawa senators to La Breton Flats. I think that is going to have a huge catalyst impact in revitalizing the downtown core. And not to mention, we've got great community assets like places like Dow's Lake and Central Experimental Farm and Arboretum, which I want to be seen as a community destinations where people want to come and visit. Those of us who live in the city, but those who are visiting in the nation's capital.
What would you say to those who are seeing this and saying, well, you were part of the party that was in power and they wanted to see some or hear some of these things happen or happen a little bit faster?
Yeah, and look, there's a lot more work that needs to happen, and we've been doing the work over the last 3 years or so as a member of parliament. But I'm an ambitious person, and I want to do more of that important work. We're working with community partners. It requires all three levels of government to do their part, and that's why I'm working with the city, our mayor, and council, and finding those necessary investments, but also making sure that the federal government doing its part, and that's why a member of parliament like myself will keep pushing.
You've been a member of parliament, you've been a member of provincial parliament as well, but let's say, for example, hypothetically speaking, it's not your party that gains power, but you gain your seat. How's your working relationship with someone like Pierre Poilievre, who could become Prime Minister?
I think people who have known me and seen my work in the community, in my various roles, know that I work with everyone. My number one job, Stefan, is to serve our community. So I've got a good working relationship with Conservative members, with NDP members, with even Mr. Ford's government. I work very closely with them to make sure that we are getting all the resources necessary to make Ottawa and downtown Ottawa a great place to live.
Any final statements while we have you?
Well, I just want people to come out and vote. This is a very important and consequential election. This is an election, in my view, about the future of our country, and I really believe that Mark Carney and I have the necessary experience to ensure that Canada remains a proud and independent country.
All right, Ottawa-Centre Liberal candidate Yasser Naqvi, thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure.
We offered the Conservative candidate an opportunity to join us tomorrow morning for his pitch on revitalizing downtown Ottawa. However, he has opted to provide a statement instead. We are reading it in its entirety without edits. Ottawa-Centre Conservative candidate Paul Desornes says, "Let me start off by acknowledging a difficult truth. The current state of downtown Ottawa, a G7 capital, cannot be addressed with the usual political rhetoric. After 10 years under the same political leadership, we have witnessed nothing but continued decline. The same old is no longer acceptable." He says, I admit there's no quick fix to the challenges facing downtown Ottawa. However, meaningful progress is possible if all three levels of government work together in a coordinated and collaborative way. We need a mechanism that brings all stakeholders to the table and leads to real measurable outcomes. Consultation can't take forever and must produce tangible actions. He goes on to say the usual politicians who have been at the helm during the decline have made promises, yet the results speak for themselves. I'll put this question forward. The current Liberal MP chaired a downtown revitalization committee. Whatever happened to that? What progress has been made? None. A new and fresh perspective is urgently needed, and I can offer that. As the MP for Ottawa-Centre, the revitalization of the downtown will be my top local priority. Again, that's Conservative candidate for Ottawa-Centre, Paul Dessorts. Be sure to stay with CTV News next Monday night for results, analysis, and perspective from right across the country. Our election night coverage gets underway at 7 p.m. It will be led by CTV's chief national anchor, Omar Sachedina, and CTV chief political correspondent, Vashi Capellos.